So we end up having content coming on the 4th for Cold War. We end up seeing we'll have a new MP map, a new zombies map, and probably a couple of things thrown in the mix here as well to round that out. But it's actually not too early to start thinking about the next season, Season 2 for Black Ops Cold War, and subsequently then Warzone. So today I want to talk about some stuff that we currently know about that is out there, data mined, rumored, all that good stuff, and let you know what you need to in preparation for Season 2. So as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Does any of the content we discuss here today strike your interest? Are you looking forward to it? Anything you'd like to see? Let me know. As well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure that subscribe button. We're on the road to 400,000 subscribers, and we'll keep you up to date with all things Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, and anything COD related. So if you'd like to join the community, I'd love to have you. That said, let's talk about what's up on deck. So I guess the first question to ask is, well, when is this going to happen? It's still a little bit of ways, about a month at this point with the Battle Pass. If you take a look at it in Cold War, the Battle Pass will say 29 days, a nice rounded number, but if you want a little bit more of a precise answer, it tells you over in Warzone and Modern Warfare that the Battle Pass actually has a few hours left on top of that, currently bringing the end date for Season 1 to 11 p.m. Pacific time at 2 a.m. Eastern and 7 a.m. in the UK on Thursday the 25th of February. So about a month away at this point. Assuming we end up seeing this pan out as other seasons have in recent months across Cold War and Modern Warfare's main year of content, this is likely going to warrant a title update at that point, triggering the start of Season 2 overnight. So it's pretty much set in stone at this point. Unfortunately, the next season again is still quite a bit of time away, but we know that on the 4th we'll be getting things like Express for multiplayer, the new Zombies map of Firebase Z, potentially League play, and a whole host of likely smaller technical changes. So at least we don't have to wait an entire month to see any content at all. But even though that's still a bit of a ways away. That doesn't mean, though, any information isn't out there, so let's take a look at what could be up on deck. Of the information we discuss, it comes from a whole host of different sources, data miners, and all between. A big thanks to people like COD Perseus, Big Mike, Declassified COD, BK Tor, Addy Source, among others like the MW2 Ghost, and the whole cast of leakers we've talked about on the channel before. As always with items of this nature, it's all a work in progress, moving targets, which could be subject to change, so take it all with a grain of salt, but also do be open to the discussion. Additionally, because it is information that's unreleased and intellectual property of Activision and Treyarch, I can leave links in the description below to help you navigate what we discuss for visual reference, but I cannot embed them here in the video due to copyright reasoning. But that said, as for the weapons, let's start out with that. That's a big piece that I'm sure a lot of people are interested in. Right now, we've heard rumors of 4 different weapons actually throughout the last couple of weeks here in relation to what's upcoming for Cold War. Data mined by Big Mike MW over on Twitter are the Tech 9 SMG and the Galil AR, both with images in-game being able to be played with in-game if you forcibly use those assets. The Tech 9, though, odd that it's kind of being classified as an SMG here in this one, looks exactly what you'd expect if you've seen a Tech 9 before, or if you've played, say, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. The Galil AR, that'll be interesting to see the return of the Galil. An absolute classic, but it'll be interesting to see how it fits in the relationships with all the other rifles that we have right now. Now, rumored there's to be another LMG and a sniper also coming as well. The Dragunov being mentioned by name, and Declassified COD, another data miner and a leaker here, ended up throwing his hat in the ring here for the idea of it, of the FN Minimi or the MW249 SAW. So potentially both of these weapons could also be on the horizon as well, but having seen some images out there of them, the Galil looks right now to have no textures at all, which would normally indicate that it's still in early development. So if we see 3 primary weapons like we've seen over Season 1 between the Groza, the MAC-10, and the Street Sweeper, if we see that again, it may be an indication that one of these could be coming at a later point in a different season, which would lead me to believe that maybe we end up seeing the Dragunov, the SAW, and potentially then the Tech 9 SMG. So we'll have to wait and see how all that unfolds, but that is what is rumored right now and what has been seen in the game files. As for maps, that's another one that is rather interesting because right now we've seen a few maps that are in the game files thanks to the work of Declassified COD, who data mined and accessed the files. In terms of actual new maps and experiences, we have the maps of Apocalypse and Echelon. Apocalypse has been in the game files and there since before Season 1, but Echelon is a bit newer to the scene and the map itself looks a lot less finished compared to what Apocalypse is. Apocalypse kind of reminds me of the mission Break On Through in the campaign where you traverse the fields of Vietnam, but it also has similar visuals to layout like maybe Cartel. So perhaps merge those two together and just see a little bit of what you have here at this one. Echelon, again, being a little bit more incomplete, but there's also rumored to be even more remakes coming throughout Season 2 and the rest of the content year for Cold War. Raid and Express are evidence of that here within Season 1, and potentially leading to the credibility of seeing 2 remakes per season. Leaker MW2 Ghost seems adamant about the validity of his information that his sources gave him, saying that we could end up seeing Apocalypse, Summit, and Firing Range being introduced within Season 2, and that would make sense, again, following the same pattern as to what we saw within Season 1 of Cold War. A brand new map, a remake, and a remake later on down the line. Next, I kind of want to talk a little bit about Battle Pass content, even though there's not a whole ton here at this one, because this is still up in the air. Of course, smaller items like your emblems, calling cards, XP tokens, con points, and all will be available, but without any information in regards to new operators and the theme of the overall season. The rest doesn't quite come into view in painting the full picture of what we may see on offer until we end up learning about those items. So keep that one in the back of your mind. We'll probably see some more information on this over the next coming weeks. But as for some stuff that has been rumored now and some things that are less confirmed, but we're following the breadcrumb trails here with this, firstly, let's talk about the rumor of a new wild card. Coming back to the MW2 Ghost, he ended up talking a little bit about how this was rumored to be a high risk, high reward level of wild card introduced within the upcoming future, potentially Season 2. This would allow players to earn streaks for a lower score cost, but that score would then reset upon death, unlike how you see now, where it's kind of requisition based, where, like Call of Duty World War II, your score does not reset even if you end up dying. To me, that would be an instant run wildcard, because I think that I'd be entirely for that. It would make streaks feel worthwhile a little bit. I would much rather have liked that to be the default instead of a sort of support-based streak system. But for those that would want to run it like myself, it would be something that I think would be a feature that would allow for better pacing in the game. So keep an eye out for that one. As for a new streak, that's a piece of discussion worth mentioning as well, because this is entirely speculation. I don't think we've seen anything actually set in stone for a little while now, but we've seen things in the game files seemingly cut for launch. We saw the flamethrower, the hand cannon seen in the campaign. It's the one-shot Desert Eagle, similar in translation to the Annihilator relating to Seraph in the past Black Ops games. We've seen the Death Machine again in the campaign. We saw the Strafe Run, and we saw the Harp. The Harp actually having been introduced and is live now with Season 1. So the prospect of streaks coming post-launch for the first time is not off the table, because it's already happened. It's already been done. And also, there's the rumor of dogs being thrown in the mix as well. This was something that there were the streak icons for dogs, and that was something that could have been legacy code, but it didn't look to be. It looked to be a unique dog icon here with this one. But this then potentially rounds out that number of streaks that were air quote cut and potentially saved for later on of 6, which is conveniently the number of seasons we'll be seeing throughout the life cycle of Cold War, if Modern Warfare was any indication, and if Black Ops 4 before it was as well, introducing us to potentially a streak per season. So it very well could be interesting to see how that all works out. If I were to guess, I would imagine the dogs could be up on deck for number 2, since that was recently introduced in the game files as well. But that kind of rounds out the Cold War specific items that we know about in relation to Season 2 right now. But the big question mark, I'm sure for a lot of people, myself included, is Warzone. Of course, Warzone is going to introduce new weaponry via Modern Warfare and Cold War, presumably if that Modern Warfare data mined content comes at the same time as Season 2 as well. We don't know just yet. That's still a very interesting wildcard scenario, but of course the weapons introduced within Season 2 of Cold War will be introduced into Cold War as well. Potentially we see a new POI or point of interest, or maybe just an opened up area. With Season 1 we saw that underground bunker beneath Verdansk International Airport, so we could see something like that introduced within Season 2 as well. Likely going to be a brand new Easter egg relating to the season as well, offering up potentially a brand new blueprint for a weapon, like how we've seen in every season in the past couple. But I think the biggest thing here is that Warzone is quite literally the wild card here with this season, because right now we don't know much of what's up on deck with Warzone, but it's a very big question mark of a time, because shortly after the launch of Season 2, we're going to approach that 1-year mark for Warzone, and right now, there's a lot of rumors going on. But with the launch of Warzone being kept under wraps until just about the date of launch, I think that it really started to see the floodgates open a couple of days before the launch. But up until that point, the only thing that we saw from an official capacity was the cinematic intro for Season 2. So we could see anything be possible in that regard. So I'm very curious to see what happens here at this one. But the final thing I want to talk about is that of a zombies rumor. Of course, we do have Firebase Z launching on the 4th as well. But right now I've seen conflicting conflicting reports here on this one, but it is rumored right now we see some remakes being introduced as well. So classic maps returning for Cold War in addition to the new experience that we get on the 4th to tide zombies players over a little more. As for how much credibility that has, I don't know. Again, conflicting reports. I thought it was interesting, wanted to bring it up, but at the very end of the video because I don't know how much I buy into it. But that said, that's where we're at here with this. That is everything that we know about the data mined and leaked content for Black Ops Cold War Season 2 and then extending over into Warzone as well. So let me get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Are you guys hoping to see anything in particular? Anything that really strikes you as, I want to see that content coming? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Warzone, Cold War, and anything COD related. We'll keep you the day with all of it. So if you're interested, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I can live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.